You are rocking and rolling with the best after the break. Live on In My Own Words, the podcast, Touchdown Alabama Magazine's Stephen M. Smith. And I know I've mentioned this a number of times. I definitely want to get into some names, players that have to emerge, step up, rise up in replacing those of which Alabama is losing to the National Football League and other endeavors. But as you all know, when it comes to covering Crimson Tide football, there's just so much big news breaking out, whether it's the coaching turnover or recruiting. You know, sometimes you have to put different stories on the back burner, save them for different days for the important breaking news. And so once again, putting off the players that have to emerge. We will get into that. Definitely will get into that. But today, another one of the huge stories has popped up. And for Crimson Tide fans, a position that makes you cringe in Brian Denny. A position that has you sneaking that extra bottle of tequila out of your purse. Or that position that has you, the fellas, reaching for that extra bottle of Jack and Coke and possibly using a bit more swear words than what you were accustomed to using, the field goal kicking position. And the kicking position in which, these guys get scholarships to make these kicks inside 30 and 40 yards. You would hope that they can make 50-yard kicks. You don't really expect it, but if they can make 50-yard kicks, that's gravy. That's bonus. That's the icing on the cake. But especially in the SEC and in Alabama, you want to make sure these guys are making those pressure field goals with the game on the line and what have you. And with the exception of Leigh, Tiffin, and Jeremy Shelley in the mid to right now 2000s era, Alabama has not had that consistent guy that's just pure money from inside 30 and 40 yards that can make a 50-yard field goal when you need it. I mean, Andy Papanastas, Adam Griffith were they were okay. They weren't just degrading, terrible, but they had moments where you were like, okay, we feeling you, and moments where you're like, sweet baby Jesus, what's wrong with you? Please make a kick. There were those moments. Cade Foster, who was recruited as a kicker but looked like a linebacker, had those self-same moments. Moments where he was okay, and moments where you just want to turn your head, put it inside of your palm, and just go, God, what are we doing? Can we just land somebody that could put a foot to a ball and make a kick? That was going on. That was exactly what was going on in the psyche of Alabama fans. But as of today, newly hired special teams coach Jeff Banks, of whom the Crimson Tide brought in from Texas A&M, the guy's good. Young guy, elite recruiter, knows special teams. Jeff Banks went out there and got his man. And yes, it's another graduate transfer, and I get it. A lot of people are asking what's going on with Joseph Belovas. This was a three-star kicker that the Tide brought in for the 2017 class out of Manville, Louisiana. Somebody that was the #1 ranked kicker according to Rivals.com. Very strong, very accurate leg. I remember I got a chance to talk with former Alabama punter P.J. Fitzgerald, I believe it was last year, not last year, but over the summer, and he talked about how confident Belovas was as a kicker. And from talking to other people inside the program, he's got a good leg. He's just a bit erratic at times. He's got to get that consistency down. It's not his leg. Very strong leg, can get it there. It's just the accuracy and the precision and the trajectory at points can be a bit erratic. Still believe he can be the perennial kicker that Alabama wants, but as of right now, Joseph Belovas a bit too erratic, and this is the reason why Jeff Banks was able to land Austin Jones out of Temple. Austin Jones, graduate transfer, coming out of Temple, American Athletic Conference. Austin Jones, who had recently battled some ACL, anterior cruciate ligament issues in his knee in the last 2 years, 2016 and 2017. But aside from his freshman year, Austin Jones nailed 37 of 45 field goal attempts. That's 82.2%. His freshman year, he was 13 for 22. But overall, Austin Jones, 50 of 67 on field goal attempts, 74.6%. Not bad. Once again, his last 3 years, since his freshman year, last 3 years, 2015 to 2017, made 37 of 45 field goals, 82.2%, which puts him overall at 74.6%, making 50 of 67 kicks. He's 102 of 104 on extra point tries, 98.1%. Austin Jones, 252 career points during his time at Temple. That's 4th all-time in school history. So the guy's pretty strong. Guy's got a pretty solid leg here. And if you look at Jeff Banks, from 2013 to 2017, during his time at Texas A&M under Kevin Sumlin, this guy's a pretty solid special teams guy right here. 2013 through 2014, he had a guy by the name of Josh Lambo as the place kicker. Lambo right now in the National Football League as we speak. Josh Lambo, in his 2 years, made 21 of 25 field goals, 84%. To be in the National Football League, most scouts want their kickers at 80% or better. Josh Lambo, 21 of 25. His 2 years with Jeff Banks, 2013 and 2014, 84% there. Extra points, he was 109 of 110, 99.1%. Pretty solid there for Josh Lambo. In 2017, Jeff Banks had Daniel LaCamera. LaCamera, 18 for 21 on field goals, 85.7%. 51 of 52 on extra points, 98.1% in that regard. In the punting aspect, which is the reason why Alabama landed Skylar DeLong, the individual, it flipped from Tennessee for the 2018 class. In the punting aspect, Jeff Banks produced Drew Kaiser from 2013 to 2015. During that 3-year period, 46.4 yards a punt, the average for Drew Kaiser in those 3 years, 2013 to 2015, including the 2013 year, which was his sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken. Kaiser, 47.4 yards a punt, broke a Texas A&M Aggie school record on 44 attempts. He was a first-team All-American and the finalist for the Ray Guy Award, which goes to the nation's top punter. Banks also had Shane Tripucka, 2016 to 2017. Tripucka was a walk-on, and from Tripucka, Banks produced 44.2 yards per punt for Tripucka's career, 44.2 yards a punt. 2016, he averaged 42.93 yards a boot. 2017, 45.5 yards per punt. So Jeff Banks knows what he's doing in terms of special teams. In 2016, the Aggies were ranked 11th. They were number 11 nationally in net punt average, 40.7 yards a boot. In the kicking game, 2016, the Aggies led the Southeastern Conference with an 86.7% field goal success rate. Holy cow. 86.7% field goal success rate. The Aggies leading the Southeastern Conference. Jeff Banks. There's a reason why Nick Saban went out there to get this man. He knows kickers, punters, return specialists. But in this case, since we're talking kickers, he knows kickers. Jeff Banks got his man. Austin Jones, graduate transfer, Temple. Once again, Austin Jones, in his career right now. 50 of 67 on field goals, 74.6%, 102 out of 104 extra points, 102 of those made, 98.1%. And since his freshman year in 2014, Jones, 37 of 45 on field goals, 82.2%. He's coming in to provide some competition with Joseph Belovas. Belovas, once again, strong leg, just a bit erratic at times. Can he get that consistency in line will be the biggest question. But as of right now, Alabama landing that graduate transfer kicker in Austin Jones. Now, I know for a lot of Crimson Tide fans, you're thinking, numbers are fine, great footnote, statistics, big whoop. Can he do it in a Crimson Tide jersey? That's when it really matters. Can he do it? Can he make kicks in an Alabama jersey? And I feel you. That's the biggest thing. And we'll see. As spring ball and in Jones's case, summer camp and fall workouts come in for the Crimson Tide. But that's the latest news. Alabama getting graduate transfer kicker Austin Jones from Temple. We take another break here on In My Own Words, the podcast, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. When we return, I promise you, we're getting into players that will emerge or that must emerge for the Crimson Tide in the absence of those pursuing the NFL draft and other endeavors. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. It's your boy, Stephen M. Smith, host of In My Own Words, the podcast. If you are a fan of this show, then I encourage you to subscribe to the Touchdown Alabama Magazine YouTube channel. Also follow the brand on Facebook, Twitter, and other forms of social media as we continue to bring you the best in Alabama football and Crimson Tide athletics.